steps in his direction, and the farmer instinctively stepped away, back into the open.
Help me, Daddy! I don't know what happened to me. I was hungry and my head hurt so much, and now I look like this. I'm not in pain anymore, but oh, I'm so hungry.
The shift in their position let the farmer better see the heap behind the monster. At first, he didn't recognize the body, with it being so broken and mangled, but he knew the shape of the tiny limbs, the woolen dress that Maria had knitted for her, the pink lasso tying her hair together. Splat. Eilena's head was gone, burst open like a melon. One more.
I'm so hungry!
Nikolai screamed his throat hoarse and threw his rock with all his strength. It hit the monster's snout squarely and left a bloody crack in its chitin right under its left side eye, which partially fell out of its cavity and hung there, connected to the skull by a meaty thread. The monster's roar deafened Nikolai's scream, drowned it in a howl of pain and confusion.
Daddy!
The thing howled.
Why did you hurt me? Please, Daddy, don't hurt me! I need your help!
But the farmer could see how the sullen hole the rock had left in the exoskeleton filled itself while the monster spoke. The eye snapped back in place. Nikolai turned and ran for his life, venturing into the darkness, trying to reach the safety of his home, screaming all the while. Behind him, coming closer and closer, begging him to help her, to just...
Come a bit closer, Daddy. I need help.
Something hard smashed against Nikolai's back, driving all the air out of his lungs, making him lose his balance and throwing him against the wet ground, where he rolled in a heap, trying to punch and pull at an enemy he could not see. A flash of dark chitin reflected a ray of silver moonlight, and two arms, strong and sinewy, grabbed a hold of Nikolai's, pinning him in place while another two raked sharp claws against his chest, leaving streaks of fire and pain as they went. The creature was on top of him, using its weight to manhandle him.
Daddy!
Nikolai screamed and tried to wrestle out of the monster's hold, tried to fight back, but the monster was stronger than he was, even if it was smaller. Moonlight made the saliva glint like it was liquid silver wetting two pairs of prehensile mandibles.
Daddy, I'm sorry.
The mandibles came down, closed against Nikolai's shoulder, and tore a big chunk of meat like his body was made of mud. Nikolai's screaming died in his throat. He could hear, in the distance, the sound of his other sons yelling at him from inside the house, searching for him in the dark. "No," he thought. "Stay away. Don't open the door. Don't."
Daddy! Oh, God! I don't want to eat you! I'm hurting you! I'm sorry!
Its hind legs were tearing his belly apart, digging their long claws in until they reached his entrails, and then brutally pulled them out over and over. Nikolai could feel his torn guts being sprawled across the ground, raising piles of steam, filling his nose with the smell of his own intestines. The mandibles came down again, and part of his arm was gone. Nikolai had never been in so much pain, never been so scared. But he could feel his body numbing, his brain rejecting the horror that was happening to him, unraveling back into his own